Hi guys, welcome to Scary Saga. In today's video, we're going to see some of the horrifying and bizarre rituals that are performed around the world even today. Leave a like if you like the video and do share your thoughts in the comments. Number 1. And gloves. When becoming a man means sticking your hand into a glove of hands. In America, adolescents tend to stumble into adulthood with a party or most likely no ceremony or mock celebration at all. But around the world, often and especially for the boys, entering adulthood requires some degree of proof that one is ready for its rigors. This might mean spending time alone in the wilderness or engaging in homemade bungee jumping. But the prize for most extreme coming-of-age ceremony likely goes to the Serai Mawe people who live deep in the Amazon. Their ritual, reserved only for the young men, is exceptionally painful in both a physical and psychological sense. Boys as young as 12 years old must gather bullet ants from the forest, which are then used to make handwritten gloves. The young men wear the gloves 20 times for 10 minutes, performing a dance while those angry insects sting them. The bullet ant sting is supposed to be 30 times more painful than of a bee, and each of these gloves contain dozens of ants. The ceremony, the tribe chief says, is meant to show the men that a life lived without suffering anything or without any kind of effort isn't worth anything at all. Number 2. Land diving. The ancient tribal ritual called land diving sees villagers free falling at speeds of more than 40 mph before coming to an abrupt stop just inches from the ground and sudden death. The vines act as bungee cords and each diver is invited to build their own platform and select their own vine so no one else can be blamed for a fatal accident. The unusual tradition is also known locally as Naghol and is considered a rite of passage for young men on the island and an expression of masculinity. Number 3. Death share for the deceased. When someone dies in the Ifugao tribe on Luzon Island in the Philippines, the family prepares a wooden chair in front of their house for the body to be seated on. The torso and the head are tied to the chair so the person sits up straight and looks normal. Their eyes are closed so they don't have to see the living. The dead bodies remain seated for 8 days to give time for family and friends to pay their respects. Number 4. Dancing with the dead. Every 7 years, people in Madagascar dig up their ancestors, change their clothes and dance with them in the Famatihana ritual. The dead bodies are paraded around and the event includes live music, animal sacrifices and feasting with hundreds of guests. A real party. Number 5. Firewalking. The Japanese Shinto Buddhist practice of firewalking is called Hiwatari Shinji. It is celebrated in Akibazan Unsu-ji Shrine on the second Sunday of every December. A qualified priest of the Unsu-ji will walk over flaming embers. It is a common belief that this ritual provides a spiritual cleanse and psychological clarity. The followers can also participate in the ritual once the priest has completed his walk. Number 6. Dead bodies living with the dead. On an Indonesian island called Sulawesi, the corpse of the dead resides with the family. They consider that the life of the person can be prolonged by keeping them with the living and is comparable to living with a sick person. The financial conditions of the family determine the period of the stay for the dead. It is usually between several weeks to years. When they finally bury the bodies, a buffalo has to be sacrificed as according to their ancestors, buffalo is a vehicle to the afterlife. Number 7. The dead leave with the fingers of living. The Dani people of Papua, Indonesia follow a strange funeral ritual. The living amputates their fingers to show love for the dead. The fingers are buried in the ground along with their loved ones. They believe it to be the best way to show grief and let the dead know their influence on the living. Naturally, because of the associated health risks, this practice is dying. Number 8. Manini ritual in Toraja. In Indonesia. During the Manini ritual in Toraja, Sulawesi, every year locals wake their dead relatives up, wash and dress them up in clean clothes, and just generally hang out. The Torajans believe the spirits of their ancestors never leave their families and will always help the living. So the ritual gives the deceased respect the deceased. This still goes on today. Number 9. Cannibalism. Cannibalism is something humans just can't seem to get rid of. The criminalization of the act seemingly isn't enough to stop people from doing it. The Karawi tribe of New Guinea, Indonesia, is the body of their healer on their dead. The Yanomami tribe of Amazon participates in cannibalism. They prepare a mixture of the bone dust of the dead and consume it in a banana soup after 45 days. And exactly after a year, they will consume the ashes left behind after cremation. The cannibal monks of Varanasi, India, called Aghoris, are also believed to consume remains of the dead.